Alright, so welcome back to Guns and Ink, and today's video is going to be about shotguns and why they're basically worthless for home defense. So, for starters, they are heavy. Very heavy. Especially this one. It's an H&R Partner 12 gauge. This thing is a freaking tank. I mean, it probably weighs 15 pounds unloaded. Now, granted, for the price range of this thing, it's actually a really reliable shotgun. Never really had much issue for it, or with it, but anyway, that's going to be for a review video, which I am working on for this. But shotguns for home defense, they are heavy. Recoil wise, whether it's in 12 or 20 gauge, is quite significant. Now me, I'm 6'2", I'm a bigger person, I have much broader shoulders, so I can handle 12 gauge a lot better than most people can. But even then, it's still not my go-to for home defense. You're also limited on ammunition capacity. You only have 5 or 6 rounds, especially if you keep one in a chamber and a full mag tube, you have 6. If you have a mag tube extension, well, then you have 8. But even then, it's still not quite a bit. So you're limited on that, and it's heavy. And recoil is hard to manage for most people. Which, if you're not an avid shotgun shooter, your follow-up shots can and will be very difficult to achieve. And then also, we can go ahead and go with the ammunition, which this is 2 3/4 inch double-aught buck. I want to say, yep, this one's 9 pellet. Like I said, but this is 2 3/4, and this one is 3-inch Magnum. So it's only a 1/4 inch bigger, and this one holds 15 pellets instead of 9. So let's go over some of the drawbacks of shooting double-aught buck in your house. But we're just going to go use the 2 3/4 inch because this is the most popular load for home defense in a 12 gauge. So you pull the trigger. Well, 9 pellets come out of here. If you miss your target, which is a very good possibility that you will miss your target after being woke up in the middle of the night because somebody kicked your door in or busted a window out, but either way they are in your house, you have woken up. Now you either have to run downstairs or just come out of your room if it's a single-story home. You miss. You have kids in the house. Well, if someone came in my front door is right here. Well, it's that direction anyway. And my kids' bedrooms are that direction. So if I miss, that is 9 chances of this still spreading as it flies through the air to kill one of my kids in their bedrooms. That's not very cool. Versus a handgun round, well, a center fire cartridge, I have 1 chance if I miss. Which, of course, aiming towards my door, they're not in any danger. The bullet will just go outside, or it'll actually nick the other corner of my house anyway, and there's no danger. Now granted, I would rather not shoot in that direction anyway, just because of that, but if I must, this is not the choice that I want. If you live in an apartment, it's basically the same thing. If you miss with this, that is 9 chances to kill your neighbor on whatever side you're shooting at, them or their family, or family member, I should say. So I think this is kind of a very stupid choice for home defense, especially because most of the morons that use a shotgun for home defense always say, oh, just point and shoot, you'll never miss. Well, bullshit. I shoot shotgun quite often, and I've tried a lot of point and shoot, and a lot of times I've even ended up missing, even with birdshot, and that's got, what, probably, I don't know, 700 little pellets in there, and yeah, I've missed. Also, I'd have to say the second most popular load for home defense is the slug. It's just one single projectile, gigantic bullet traveling at a pretty damn good rate of speed for what this actually weighs. Sorry about the lighting, I can kind of see it going in and out of focus. But anyway, if you miss with this, this would probably plow through a mobile home. I'm not going to say from one side to the other, but it's definitely not going to stop through one wall or slow down enough to where it's not lethal. This is going to plow through shit. This is what well, actually I use the 3-inch magnums, but this is what I use when I hog hunt in the woods, because it can just plow right through all the thick brush if I need it to and stay on target. Okay, so if you miss with this, especially in an apartment, and especially a lot of new ones, that'll go through the wall that you're aiming at, and it's going to go through a bunch of other walls inside of your neighbor's apartment, putting them at risk because you suck at aiming. And also, even if you do hit, but you want a follow-up shot because they're not on the ground, and you miss because the recoil is very hard to manage, now you're still running the risk of, whether it's with buckshot or slug, of potentially injuring somebody in your household or next door at an apartment. Now see, luckily for me, if a bullet goes through any of my walls, my neighbors are so far away, I don't have to worry about it. Unless it goes through my front, then I can hit one of my neighbors across the street. But even then, they're still about 150 yards away. And their houses are all concrete. Granted, it's still a shitty situation if you miss and it does hit your neighbor's house. But at least in my case, I have it a little bit better. Now, so let's go ahead and go back over why this sucks. So, first and foremost, it's heavy as hell. Like I said, this thing probably weighs 15 pounds unloaded. Maybe a little bit less, I don't know. I don't have a scale to put it on. Alright, second, you have a lack of ammunition capacity. Then you have very hard to manage recoil for most people who are not avid shooters. And then you have, which I don't think I went over this, the pain of trying to reload this thing. So if you run out of ammunition, which I don't see why you would, but if you do, because 10 people broke in your house, now you have to fumble around in the dark trying to load, some load, like this, how you normally would do it, each shotgun shell into the chamber, or I mean into the loading port. And then fumbling around, you're probably going to try and get it in here, and then you're going to drop it, so now that's one less round that you're going to have. Also, if you don't have a side saddle on your shotgun, which it's just right here, it holds extra shotgun shells on the side front of your shotgun. It comes with extra pins, or the new pins to install it. But anyway, if you're not carrying that, or you don't have a shell holder on your shotgun, or a shell holder on your sling, if you have a sling on yours, then once you're out, now you have to go back to your room to get and acquire more ammunition and then load it. Alright, so those are why I think shotguns are just not the greatest thing for home defense. Also, a 12 gauge shotgun is not this mythical firearm. It's not going to kill a dragon in one shot. You're not going to freaking blow the head off 10 people or any of that crap. So get that out of your head. And it's not a point and shoot weapon, so get that out of your head as well. Yes, I do keep this loaded. Yes, I do keep it bedside. But I also keep other guns bedside too that are a much better choice for home defense, and we will go over that in this video. But just truth about it, shotguns they're just obsolete in my opinion for home defense. So let's go ahead and go over different options that are better than a shotgun for home defense that are probably cheaper and easier to shoot. One is a 9mm handgun. This is fairly cheap if you're on a budget. This is the Smith & Wesson SD9 VE series. The trigger is a little cruddy on it, but this gun in particular has over 20,000 rounds through it, so the trigger is kind of broken. But besides all that, I got this for under $300 brand new with 2 magazines. And the magazines, they hold, don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Yeah, I can't. Yep, 16 rounds. Plus 1 in the chamber, 17 rounds. Versus your 5 or 6 or 8 if you have a mag tube extension. Also, reloads are easy. If you run out of ammo, you just simply hit the mag release, drop this one out. You can pull another mag out, stick it in, or even while you're shooting, if you know how to hold the weapon just right, you can actually keep the extra mag in your hand. But anyway, so it's very simple to change. If you run out of ammunition, or if you're run into a malfunction, they are easier to clear than a shotgun, depending on the malfunction. I will say the worst malfunction in a shotgun, which happened to me, I was shooting waterfowl loads. They were 3-inch Magnum. They were from Winchester, and the casing, the hull of the shotgun, the brass part actually had split and jammed itself in my chamber, or in the chamber, and I couldn't rack it out of there. I literally had to beat it out with a cleaning rod. Now, granted, you could get a squib load in here where the bullet comes out of the casing but gets stuck in your barrel. Now you have a club. But that can happen in any gun. But for your standard stovepipe or double feed or something like that, it's much easier to clear in this than it is in a shotgun. Alright, now also I have my EAA Witness P series. This one's in 40 Smith & Wesson. This is a CZ clone. I really love shooting this gun. Now granted, I don't have that high of a round count through it. It's only a couple thousand rounds. But it's very reliable. I've never had an issue with it. And my camera just moved. It readjusted. Anyway, so never had an issue with this gun. And this one I think I picked up out the door for 350 bucks. The only crap part is it only comes with one magazine. That's it. That's all I got. I haven't ordered extras for this yet. But anyway, this holds 12 plus 1, so 13 rounds of 40 Smith & Wesson, which it's a little on the lower side, but still. Order a couple extra mags, and then you'll have good ammunition capacity to carry, even if it is through your own house. Also, because it is a CZ design on this one, and the slide rides inside of the frame instead of on top of it, the recoil in this gun is actually pretty comparable to a 9mm plus P load. Now I'm not going to get into the whole 40 is better than 9mm debate in this video. Actually, I'm not going to get into that at all. Also, another better option would be, and this you can actually find in the $500 to $700 range, is an AR-15. Now this is unloaded, freshly oiled. I picked this particular gun up for 500 bucks. Bought this from my friend. It came with the Magpul MOA furniture, which I don't like, but it's on there right now, so that's what I'm gonna deal with. But all the furniture you see on here is all upgraded from the factory. This is the Vortex Strikefire 2 red and green dot sight. I do like this sight. It also came with a knockoff ACOG sight, which I haven't really used that one. Definitely not in Zero, but anyway. But you can still pick up a basic M&P Sport 1 or a Ruger 5.56 AR, or even some other decent ARs used at pawn shops or whatever for around the $500 to $700 range. Now with that, you can get, which most come with these days, an adjustable stock to fit different people in your house. So if your wife or you, or even have a small stature, or stature I should say, you can collapse this all the way down to fit you better. If you have really long linky arms, well, now you can extend this all the way out. So if you work night shift and your wife's home alone, she can move the stock all the way up or wherever it is that fits her, and then when you get home you can just simply pull the stock all the way back out and your sights will still hold zero and you don't have to worry about adjusting any of that. But the better part about that is, instead of 5 or 6 rounds or 16 rounds or 12 rounds, you have 30 rounds. Now in here I just have regular steel cased Tula 223. I do have several mags of 5.56, and also mags are really cheap. I think you can get steel or aluminum mags for like $6.99, $7.99 these days, and changing mags is, well, still a lot simpler than trying to reload a damn shotgun fumbling around in the night. You just simply push the mag release button, you stick another mag in there and hit the bolt release, and you are back in action. So those are 3 examples of what is so much better than a shotgun for home defense. And like I said, the reasons that I've talked about are why I think shotguns are just obsolete in home defense, period. And I know there's some people that I've seen where they said, oh, my budget's only $350. Well, under $300 with 2 mags. So whatever money you have left over, you can actually buy a box of defensive ammunition, and then you can buy a few boxes of training ammunition, take this damn thing to the range and shoot it. And not only would it be comfortable for you to shoot, but also your wife as well. And it's just more comfortable to shoot. Your follow-up shots are a lot faster because you don't have all that recoil. $350 out the door. Most gun shops, well, I'm not going to say most, but some gun shops might even throw in a box of hollow points for free or at a discounted price. But still, $350. Still a lot better than a shotgun. And then, of course, last but not least, if you have a little bit higher of a budget, anywhere between $500 to $700, and still much better than a 12 gauge shotgun. So, if you like what you see, and you like the content that I'm producing, feel free to share the video. If you don't like anything that I'm doing, well, you can put it down in the comments below. But I would like to hear your comments, thoughts, and opinions on the video. I know this wasn't a shooting video, and I know I don't do too many of them, but this really wasn't too much of a shooting involved video, more of an informative video. Now, granted, I can turn this into a shooting video, but I'm not going to do that just yet. But anyway, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.